Hello everyone, it's Farket here, and in this video I'm going to provide you with an ultimate guide to cranes. What they're useful for, what they're not useful for, all their limitations, their strengths, all that sort of stuff. So let's get into it. When you're placing a crane, you'll see a spindle of rope. This is the access point for you to grab the crane and bring its platform down. And it brings it up and down. And it works exactly the same as the one in the middle, though. If your crane's all the way up and you're all the way down, this is how you're going to bring it down. Now keep in mind, if you place this spindle in water, you won't be able to access it. You can't grab onto it. So if you want to be able to use it, you're going to have a platform of sorts and not have it so deep in the water. So like here, I can grab it. Though that's using a platform, and platforms are pretty expensive. To adjust a crane's height, you need to go somewhere that's high. So for instance, if I place that there, it's only going to be about 2 sections wide. I class these as a section. See these big squares? That's what I class as a section. And the highest you can go is 5. So if I place this here and I take this pre-made coaster ramp thing, see it's going higher and higher, and then you can get it to go much higher. Also, the way you're looking can really affect it. Seems like the further you go away, the higher it gets. I can't seem to place it, probably because it's near that one there. Well, it looks like I've already found a bug with them. I've had this bug before, but I never knew what caused it. But I can't place it. I'm playing without mods, by the way. Okay, I had to reload, and now it seems to be working. So the higher you go, the higher you can place the crane. Works similar to how custom roofs work. So I've placed that there. Let's go have a look. 5 sections will be the tallest it can get. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks like about as high as you can get a crane to go. Now, if you've got the ultimate cheat menu on, you can make them as tall as you want. And because you can fly, you can go as high as you want, right up into the sky. Though the thing is, the crane's only got 5 levels to work with. So even though it's really tall, you're still only going to be able to go up and down 5 levels. And that will be from the top. Though this can be useful if you want to place cranes next to each other. Though that's a bit complex. And it's only relevant to PC users. Also, when you place them, you can't reach the blueprint with the ultimate cheat menu. You have to fly up to get it. It doesn't complete the rest of it. It's weird. With cranes, you cannot take a log cart onto them. The reason being is that this game has issues with... That rubber just flung me into the air. The game has issues with dynamic objects. And because these are both dynamic objects, it doesn't want them to work together. You can glitch it on there, though it might take you some time and it's fairly pointless. What you can do, and I learned this from Phoenix Death, he's one of my biggest fans. He's often on the Reddit talking very positively about me, is that you can build birdhouses onto the side of them, and this can act like a mobile bridge, but it can also take log carts. Though I mentioned just before, dynamic objects don't like playing nice with each other. So I can lower that into the ground, like that. I can place that on there, and I can move the log cart up and down. Though I don't recommend doing this because dynamic objects don't mix well with each other. So you might get some really strange behavior and things going on. Though the birdhouses can go onto the ground, I mean, you could have it as a bridge that goes out. Might work as a good bridge for the crane. There's a lot of different types of structures you can place on the crane. Though some of them make sense, some of them don't. So you can place the basic fire pit, drying rack, rabbit cage, water collector, both stick holders, both the shelves, the explosives holder, the log holders, the rock holders, the weapon holders, arrow and bone holders, armor racks, those stick things, stick markers, targets, skins, lights, beds, birdhouses, and the ground weapon holders. You can also attach some of the other things like wall planters and frames and wall skins and stuff like that. I find strange. Let's see what goes up and what comes down. The weapon holder stays down and the birdhouse stays down as well. The main things you can't put on there is anything custom, anything too big, any of the shelters, and any of the seats. That's pretty much the main stuff. One of my favorite things to place on the cranes are ceiling skull lamps. Though it's quite buggy to get them to bloody go on there. As you can see, the blueprint flashes blue, but not for long. So it's like that. And then what you do, when you move it up and down, they come with it. Obviously, you place it a little bit better than me. They're floating there, but there's no collision with them. So you can walk through them. Yeah, this is something to be careful of. This happens sometimes. I just placed that there and it cleared a bunch of stuff that was on here. I got no idea why, but sometimes that happens. I recommend you save before placing any cranes. Now, something's happened in the last few patches. I don't know exactly when it happened, but what it's done is it's made the cranes really cheap to build. So this is 11 logs and 6 rope. Look at the size of it. And this is 11 logs and 6 rope, and it's like 1/3 the size. I see this as a benefit, and I hope they keep it. I know it's unrealistic that many logs make such a big crane. The thing is, cranes have been overshadowed completely by zip lines for the most part. Though if they keep these prices the same in the future, it'll be very good. It'll make them much more worthwhile for building because they can cost upward to about 100 logs, but they always cost 6 rope. But as it stands, this is what we've got, cheap cranes. If you're stuck at the top and you want to get down without taking the rope, what you can do is find out where the beams are, like here, and you zigzag in between them to go down like this. And you shouldn't take any fall damage. But if you fall too far, you will take fall damage. If I fell from there at full health, I probably would die. So, good to know. When using the rope to pull up the crane, it doesn't use any stamina at all. Holding down shift won't increase the speed that you pull it up or pull it down. Now be careful with holding down the forward button when you go to the top. If you're holding down shift at the same time, there's a good chance you might run and fall off it. Actually, I survived that. How much health did I end up with? 1. What are the chances, eh? Beautiful stuff. Now, as mentioned before, when placing cranes, you can lose some stuff, so make sure you save beforehand. Cranes are also really destructive when placing them. Though it seems like they've fixed a lot of the issues where if you place it, it's not going to destroy what's nearby. It just won't let you place it. We'll do random stuff like that. I don't know what's causing that to happen. Just have to live with it. Maybe that bug's happening again. I gotta reload. Seems like their endeavor to fix the crane and its bugs has created a new breed of bugs. So I can place the blueprint if I complete it. Didn't cut a hole this time. Now before that would have cut a hole. And this time with the changes they've made, it's sitting on top of it. There's no hole underneath that. And if I place the roof on it, I don't even know what's going to happen because I've never done this before. Okay, it doesn't work and I've gotten stuck. Oh, there you go. Maybe you could work that into something. I don't even know. It's just sparked my brain. I should be doing some experimenting with this stuff. Cranes used to be basically large hole cutters. Doesn't look like they're doing that anymore. Or maybe I was wrong. Yes, be careful using these. Now the main uses of cranes is for logs, but that's mainly what I use them for. And your first instinct might be, I'm going to fit as many log holders on here as I can, which is what you could do. Now, the thing is you can only take 50 logs at a time on the ground. And usually what I have is a crane and then I'll have a zip line off the crane. I'll usually place it on a custom foundation or something. I don't cut any costs with that because you can't really. So what I do is I just have 4 large ones like this and that holds 48 logs. And that way when I get to the top, I unload the whole crane and that's 48 logs. I don't have to worry about any of the logs disappearing. If you got more than 50, you send down say 70. By the time you get down to the other end, there'll only be 50 there. And you can build inside the thing so you can block the crane rope, though keep in mind it might make it very difficult to get a hold of. Like in this instance, I'm actually struggling to get a hold of it. You don't want to spend your time stuffing around with this, so I recommend building around it if you can. Oh, I got it just before. Oh, there we go. Eventually got it in the end. Yeah, so for instance, if this was my exchange, part of my exchange to send logs away, I'd just put like a custom foundation, nothing special. I'd be placing it better than that. That's awful. And then I'll put the zip line on the end here. And then wherever to its next destination. It's nothing really special to that. Now, cranes aren't invulnerable and cannibals will target them, as you can see over there. You bastards. Catch that. So they can take down cranes. Cannibals actually can't take down a lot of structures, but cranes are one of them, which is most unfortunate. And there goes one of my cranes. So yes, protect them well. Or basically just don't spend too much time around them, otherwise enemies will come to them. If you're wondering if there's a weight limit to cranes, there isn't. They can carry as much as you can fit on them. So if you stacked log holders within each other and filled it with say 300 logs, it's not going to matter. It's going to move it. So you just place them like that, place them inside each other. 2/2 method or 3/3. I'd recommend 2/2 if you're going to do it that way. 3/3 can cause some problems. And if you're wondering if you can build on top of the crane, I think you can, but it's not recommended. I used to be able to put zip lines on top of them. Didn't really have much use though. If you're struggling to get the height right for a crane, remember, you need to go as high as you can. The highest places in the game are in the snow, right at the far end. Or if you want to go somewhere a bit more local, this point right here, near the center cannibal village, it's just over there. See these rocks that are here? If you jump on top of them, it's one of the highest places in the map. And it's very close by because it's actually right around the center of the map. If you're playing Crashlands here, which it can, if you jump on the tail, it's even higher. But if you place it like that, you're always going to get guaranteed highest crane operational height. I'm talking fancy for no reason. This is completely off topic, but I never knew this existed. This is a walkway to the fertile lands. I don't know why the enemies don't use it. I have no idea how long that's actually been there for. There you go. There's a max height crane. Remember when you're rotating it too, about the rope spindle where you want it. Now, in a lot of my previous videos, I was able to build on the crane by placing rock walls on the beams and stuff. Though they've changed cranes quite a bit. You can no longer build anything custom on them. You can't attach a bridge to it, which is quite unfortunate. This goes for custom walls as well. Anything custom can't be built on it. When placing cranes in the water, you have to take into account the depth of the water because it will sit quite deep. So if I place it down like this and go up, I'm gonna need to get out of the water to place it properly. There's a shark over there. There isn't going to be many circumstances where you're going to place it fairly deep into the water, except for keeping away from enemies, because enemies can attack it and they're not very strong. Can't even see it from this distance away. There you go. That's probably the highest it could go. So if you're trying to get it up to one of these cliffs so you can get stuff off, that's going to be a mission. But it's quite cheap. It's a shame you can't build custom structures off it anymore. But it won't go into the water when you're lowering it down. It will stop at the water's level. 11 logs and 6 rope for building something like this out at sea is pretty good. I was able to place it like there. It's quite some distance away still. Though this would be good if you were building up here and you wanted to bring logs in. Now it's all well and good. You've got this nice crane sitting across here. All you got to do is build a bridge. Now the problem is how you actually going to do that. Pretty much the only way that's going to work is via custom foundation, which is going to be so expensive that it's going to negate the savings you're going to make doing this. I can't even get a log truck up here. And custom stairs is going to do the same thing. See, it's all the way down there. That's the max height it can go. There is a way around this though. And this is a method I discovered doing my season 5. So what you do, get the rock wall out and line it up so you can get it so I can go across here. Try and keep it fairly straight, though it's not the biggest deal if you don't get it super straight. Go too wide, you have to do it this way. It'd be easier to do it the other way, but automatic placement's got to be a nightmare for you. You won't be able to do automatic placement like that. You only need to complete one side, but it'll probably look better if we did both sides. And then what we do, custom roof out, and then we can go up much higher. You're probably not going to have one of these just lying around. I just built it here to speed things up. Okay, I want it just underneath. That'll do. Let's see how much that is. Probably should have seen the cost of a custom foundation to see what it would have been for me. That's 8 logs. That's not too bad. And we might even be able to climb this. Nah, it's too steep. You can't take cold damage when gripping onto the rope either. See what happens if I stand still. Yeah, have to look into that further. So it looks like you could go AFK, just hold onto a rope. You know, take any cold damage that way. Okay, first I'm going to try with a custom stairs because everyone's going to have them. See, I can place this now. Try and get it perfectly level. Here we go. And done. There you go. Now it's 56 logs. I know it's expensive, but I'll show you how much a custom foundation will probably cost you. And this way you'll be able to get your logs on and off from here. See? Just be careful of the gap. You might fall down that. Now I'm going to have to cancel all ghosts so I can see the exact cost of this because I'm too lazy to go and check it normally. So I can just do it off the top here. Try and make it short so it doesn't cost too much. Okay, 226. So, I guess those are your options. Launched up like a strudel. The other way you can do it, instead of using the custom stairs, because, you know, custom stairs aren't exactly fun to work with. I can clear that. The other way is to use a log truck or coaster. Okay, same principle applies. See, the closer you get it, the better it's going to sit. Going to be a little bit of a gap there. So I'm going to run over to the other side and the same thing. Try and line it up. And if we don't move the mouse, aim down, don't move the mouse. There we go. How much is that? 30 logs and 50 sticks. That's perfectly straight. And you can take a log cart over this one. It is a bit of a tight squeeze though, just so you know. Oh, it does the job. Just keep in mind that because of the short space, don't fall off the edge. There you go. This is the only way I would recommend building bridges to cranes now. Doing it this way. The other way is just far too complicated. It really is. But I'll show you it anyway. Now, I just had an idea of a way that you could do it. Don't think I'd recommend this way. See how this goes. So like that. Run over here and somehow we've got to get the exact height. And I don't know how that's going to work. Let's see. I don't know what height that other one is at. I don't know if that's going to work at all. You'd have to get the exact height as that one over there. And I've got no idea what that is. So this is just already too complicated. And look at this crap. Rubbish. Oh, we can't even reach those ones now. You have to build scaffold just to get them. Screw that. So cancel all ghosts. I scrap that idea. That's too complicated. I wouldn't recommend it. That would be very cheap. It would probably only cost you like 8 logs or something. With that there, I could imagine you could do this. You know, I kind of do wish I had ultimate cheat menu on while doing this. Would make it a lot quicker, but it changes too much. This is me doing the crap that I usually do, is that I'm supposed to be showing you a way to do it. And I'm like, oh, what about this way? I think of ways while I'm doing it. So what you could do, and this would be expensive, though it is a way to do it. Attach a tree bridge to this side and run it over to the other side. So that's 23 logs. Actually, that's not too bad. So that's definitely a way you could do it. And it doesn't look too bad either. So there you go. That's one way. I'd probably recommend going that way because simple structures don't really rely on other things below them. So if I clear the rock underneath, it might still float. I'm doubtful though because it's simple stairs. Ah, yeah, simple stairs. They don't make the cut, mate. There was a way that I was experimenting with, but it doesn't work well at all. And that's because there's collision issues. So I place a basic wall and just keep stacking on top of them. It's already not letting me do it. Because the thing with the basic walls is that you can cancel the ones underneath and it'll still hold. So you can experiment with that if you want. I don't recommend it. It's too much of a pain. What I do recommend that you do is use a custom foundation to mark and plan the height of it. So I have to place it out there, otherwise it won't let me place it. So to get down, I could either zigzag or just jump into the water. I'd recommend jumping into the water, it's quicker. So using this, I can tell what is the exact height on this side. So I can use it to guide my measurements. That's 141 logs. It's so much cheaper before. I'm going to complete that and see if it's going to work because it's hanging off the thing. That's pretty expensive. Unless you plan on building your base on it. It's not a bad idea. God, that is expensive. Because it's hanging off, I'm not sure if it's going to collide. Oh, seems fine. It's going to have a base like this. Now, I don't think that's entirely through because now I've got to destroy this freaking thing. And you can't use the hole cutter on custom foundations. Oh, that came down rather quickly. I'll keep in mind if a custom foundation is destroyed and it lands on you, it's going to kill you instantly. Don't be underneath it when it's coming down. Keep in mind that any ideas you might have, just remember that you've got to be able to get to the top of this while holding the blueprint out. And that's just near impossible. Because to climb the rope like I'm doing now, to use my hands up, I can't have a blueprint in my hand to place it. So if I was to run a custom floor over here, it wouldn't work. Okay, just had an idea for another one. Oh, I'm terrible at this. Keep it as short as I can. I'm supposed to do this testing, then make the videos. But no, I don't want to do it that way, do I? Problem is when it's this short, it wants to snap. Even if you don't want it to snap, it wants to snap. So like that. And then you just have to complete one of them. I'll do the cheapest one. Mind you, I don't know how much this is going to cost. It's probably going to be very expensive. Just under like that. Okay, how much is that? 40 logs, that's pretty pricey. But that covers the whole width of it. Now, there's a reason for doing this. Well, I didn't think that through, did I? Now it's blocking the freaking crate there. Oh, well, instead of replacing it, I'm just going to use the stairs to get up there for now. Now, I need to see the height of this. So I'm going to place that there. Place this down here. This is quite low, so I'm going to have to improvise with this. What I'll need to do is a custom foundation instead, which might be very expensive because I've got to place it in the floor. So like that. Okay, I don't need that one anymore, so I can cancel it. How much is this? God, it's so bright, I can't even see it. 10 logs. Okay. Now you could do this exact same thing by building up single pillars all the way to the top on the sides. I might show you how to do that. It just takes a long time to do. It's very boring. Though so far, what I'd recommend doing is make this about 4 wide. You don't need it all this width. This is the whole width of the crane. You have a lot of room on it. I suppose that's a good thing. The next part is to get a rock wall out, and you could have done this ages ago. This is really difficult to get it to place on top of here. I think the crane's conflicting with it. It might be too close to the crane. It looks like I can do it. Like that. Build that. And we don't need any of the other parts of it. Might be difficult to cancel them. 112 rocks. Piss off. What you do now is get a custom floor out, and you have to do it this way, which is most unfortunate because it's better to do it the other way. And this is already not going to work too well because it's too far away from the thing. There's a massive gap there, but it's just another way to do it. We have to do it like this and this because if we connect it up there, we can't run back over here because the crane's already at this height, unless we could walk up here while still having the blueprint intact. If you had someone with you who could control the crane while you're placing it, you're sweet. But as it stands, I can't do crap because I'm playing all by myself. So like this. Oh God, that placement's way off. You'll do better with your measurements than me. I hope you will. And there we go. That's 27 logs. Do better with your measurements. This is a crap placement. Because I finished there, I can actually clear the rest of it. So I could get away with removing this stuff here. Hole cutter. See you later. And my custom floor will still be there. Though the time and measurements and all that crap, God, it'll take you forever. So the way you could do it is like this. And I'm not going to do it because it's going to take too long. But placing them up individually like this until you get to the top, and the same principle applies. You want to be able to attach it on both ends on this end and then jump across and place it and finish it on that end. That way you can actually clear these pillars that are holding onto the floor or whatever you're going to use. If you're ever placing custom foundations into cliffs, sometimes the game glitches out and it causes the cost of custom foundations to be astronomical. So if I destroy this, the whole thing's going to come down. Like, custom foundations are pretty difficult to destroy. I can't even destroy it, for God's sake. Where there's a will, there is a way. See if that works. Yeah, that worked. Now I've left this one here from before, so I could go back up and place it again. You wouldn't even need to go up all the way. It just needs to be fairly high. So I could do it from there. It's going to still cost the same amount. I was going to use a coaster, but I might use the custom stairs. See, I can place it. It's disappearing, meaning so far as I can, which is about there, and I can run it across. Now the reason I'm doing this again is I want to see if I could destroy that roof thing. Don't want to cancel the last one. 1, 2, there we go. How much is that? 59 logs. God, it's such a rip-off. That's all right. God, it's so wonky. Jesus Christ, can you fall through here? Oh, no, looks like it's all right. Oh, the log's not even coming down through it. I'll remove this. I'll see if it floats still. Looks like it's still standing, but they could easily take out this. Can't win. Can't win them all. What you could do, if your precision was really good, I don't think I recommend it this way. Like that. Place a custom roof on it. The reason your precision would have to be really good is that you'd have to get it the exact same on the other side. So you want to leave like a rock wall's length there. I don't know how much that is, 8 logs. If you're able to go the custom floor method, it's going to be a lot cheaper. It really is. And it's going to be wider too. So where I've placed that one, if I place a, God, I hope I can, 1 rock wall on it. Might have to place it all the way down here, like that. There we go. 2 rocks and I can cancel the rest. I do the exact same thing on the other side, and then I can run a custom floor all the way along. That's another way you can do it. That way would actually be quite cool, because then you'd have a big custom floor rather than something quite short. It would be relatively cheap. It'll probably cost about 20 logs for the floor, and then you got 8 logs each for those roofs there. And then you'll need something to connect it up. So if you need a custom foundation down here, it's going to cost you a bit more. Depends on the height you can get. Look at that. Rubbish. One of my favorite uses of the crane, have it at the sea, and then you have a houseboat pull up. And then you have it like this, and then you can offload from the boat straight onto the crane. See here, I've placed the log holder right on the edge here. If it's on the other side, you have to jump up, place it, then jump back. Not a major thing, just keep it in mind where you really want things to be. This is me testing something again, because I'm not sure if this will work. What I do is build a custom foundation out here, then place a crane on. There's a shark around here somewhere, but he can't hurt me. God, this is expensive. Already recommend against doing this. Place that on there. Let's see how it works. Okay, it's not letting me place. Joyous fun. It's doing that bug again, which means I have to save and exit and come back in. So that's a new feature. You can actually build on custom foundations and it won't cut through it, which means that you can make buildings as high as you want them. That is interesting. Never used to be able to do this. It would cut right through the floor. So there you go. I've got a new trick I'm going to show you with this. I'm going to save it for another video because it's quite complex. So if you have any more tips and tricks for cranes, let me know in the comments. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers.